Hayden is doing the same thing he was doing yesterday when you were on the phone with me, and that he is grunting like a pig dog into Fortnite.
Okay, so that's just his Fortnite noise.
Yeah, because I came up to him, I was like, you were making like a grunting noise. He goes, oh. Like he makes the exact same noise again, and I'm like, yeah, that's the one. And he goes, yeah, it's my Fortnite noise. And I was like, aye.
Okay. God, he's
Whatever
a strange
works.
bean.
Yeah, he sure is, and a
This is
big
weird
bean.
one. A big bean.
A
Like
big old bean.
Bonzo.
That's not in like a fat shamey way. That's in a Hayden 6'5" way.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, my
Dude's
brother.
tall. Yeah.
This is not a private conversation.
We wanted to make sure we got all of this on the cast. I hate you.
You hate me? Okay. How do we start this one? With just you saying that you hate me?
This changes things, man. I don't want it to, but it's gonna.
Okay, so I know that we need to. First of all, Josh, what did you watch for the podcast this week? What did I have you watch?
Tommy.
Yes, and I believe I said last time that I wanted to try and start all these off with like kind of a plot overview, so I guess I should attempt to do that.
I can do that in 12 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. It's World War II. Man and wife have baby. Man dies in accident, or does he? Woman gets remarried. Baby's born. Turns out man was still alive. Woman's new husband murders him. Baby watches. They go, yo, don't tell anyone. And baby goes, all right, I'll never speak again. Then he grows up. We watch
This is so much longer than 12 seconds.
Fuck you. Then we watch him have possibly sex for the first time. Get abused by his relatives, get really, really, really good at pinball, start a cult when he begins to speak again, when he flies through a mirror into a pool. Then the cult turns against him, killing his mom and stepdad, and he runs off free. Did I miss anything?
That's exactly it. We watched the 1975 movie adaptation of the 1969 album by The Who. Because nice. I hate Josh.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
So, in case anyone's watching this who didn't watch the last one, when I revealed this to you that you were watching this movie, I asked the question, what does Josh hate? And just checked all the blanks. Josh, you hate old movies.
Yes.
Josh, you hate classic rock.
Yes.
Josh, you hate concept albums.
Yes.
Josh, you hate musicals.
Yes.
Josh, you hate movies with worthless plots that don't go.
Yeah, that's me.
And that's what I handed you on a big, stupid silver plate. So do you want to start from the beginning, or do you want to start from what pissed you off the most?
I just want to say that I am impressed in a frightening way that, like, you know me so well that you were able to find the worst thing for me.
As soon as I became aware that this thing existed, I was like, before I'd even watched this, I was like, this has to be something that he would hate, right?
Oh,
this has to be a thing that would drive him up the wall and ruin his day and potentially the rest of his week. And it is a Monday, so you have a lot of week left to ruin.
I was trying to do homework after I watched this fucking movie, and I kept just rage quitting just because I thought of something that happened like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, a lot of things happen, and none of them matter.
Not a single thing happens.
I need to go ahead and also say, I'm saying this as someone who, like, watched this of my own volition because I wanted to, and because I think this is a great album. That, like, makes... The movie is questionable. It's questionable. It's questionable. Sure. It's questionable.
That's very generous. That's very, very generous. You know what? I think Hitler was a bad guy.
This is one of those things where, and I'll get into this later because it's not funny, that sometimes things shouldn't be adapted, I don't think. Some books aren't supposed to be movies. This was also a not book that wasn't supposed to be a movie. What pissed you off?
Okay, so first of all, the first thing that pissed me off was the fact that all of the music, at least in the first there's one song I didn't hate.
It was just the pinball song, correct?
Just the pinball song.
That was baffling to me. Josh texts me when that song comes on. He goes, "The pinball song is nice," and I go, "The pinball song?" And he's like, "Yeah, with Elton." And I'm like, "Had you never heard that song before this movie?"
Nope. Not a single.
That's baffling.
I have to say, when the
And
pinball
not in a pretentious way. Not in a pretentious way. I just can't believe it. Like, not like oh, how have you? It's just like, really?
This was, I can't, words can't describe how out of nowhere the pinball plot comes from. Where it becomes like multiple times after this dude makes a cult, he goes, all of my followers must play pinball.
Listen, I have no excuse for that. There is nothing different about that in the album from the movie, like, transitionally. It's just like, how about pinball now? And it's fun. It's fun. Is it fun?
The Elton John scene is fun.
The guest stars are what I like to call hit or miss in this film. Can we please talk about Eric Clapton? Can we please talk about Eric Clapton?
Here's the problem, bud.
Because that's my least favorite thing about this movie, and not just because I hate Eric Clapton.
You've got to tell me which one he was, because I was so angry during
Marilyn
this
Monroe.
entire...
So I have so much to say about the scene, and I wish I wasn't talking so early into this, because I know you have a lot to say too.
It's fine. It's mostly screams.
Yeah, that scene. So that song is early in the movie, and it's like some of the songs get mixed around from the album to the movie. Mm-hmm. That song is in relatively the same spot, I believe, more or less, in that it's early on. And when I listened to the album, which I've done a billion times, I'm like, I had never, until I watched the movie, understood why it was there or like what purpose it served. And after watching the movie, I also still did not understand why it was there or what purpose it served, because everything else at least like does something. I had no idea why that was there. Not something that like you think is good, but like I'm like, okay, there was maybe not a good point, maybe not a long-lasting point, but a point.
Maybe not a point that was worth an entire song, but like I will say there is a plot.
Yeah, we'll get into plot. I'm not done bitching about this. He is the worst air guitar player of all time.
I wish
he's so bad.
Music,
he's so bad.
I wish music had like the Razzies.
Yeah.
So we could give him that fucking award.
Because it's just, the song has no bearing on anything else. Yep. I don't understand where it fits into anything still. And like, I'm invested in this in a way that you definitely are not. And he's terrible.
I don't think that was my least favorite part though.
Did it not drive you insane watching him like pretend to play the guitar, and like it's like when you watch a 3-year-old pretend to play the guitar?
I'm gonna be honest.
Also,
that
I don't
brought
know
me
if you
no extra rage.
That didn't, because that like really pissed me. I think it's because I wasn't mad until.
Oh, because I was already fuming.
An anger point. First of all, let me go ahead and say, did you notice that the drum set has no cymbals?
No, I didn't.
That made me laugh, and I had to like pause the movie. There's no cymbals, and he's just like kind of hitting where they would be, and there's no cymbals.
Oh my god. There are plenty of scenes where they just went, I don't know, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like it says we need to do this thing. We have $45 left in our budget.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
All the budget was spent on hang gliders.
Another thing I was not expecting.
Was for like a Christ figure to fly in on a hang glider?
Yeah. Oh my god. We need to talk about the Christ metaphors.
Are we going to do that immediately? I also, back to what I was talking about, that's when they switch actors. That is the casting choice that pisses me off about this movie, by the way. When I was like bitching to you about casting.
Yeah.
Why in the world is he playing that role? Why is a 30-year-old Roger Daltrey playing a role that is supposed to be, from all I can gather, a 16-year-old at the oldest?
It is such a jarring shift that I did not realize it was the same kid in for another 20 minutes.
I wouldn't have either, because they didn't bother to pick a child actor who looks even remotely like him.
Oh no, they found a kid. Just were like,
yeah, and they like picked it. Well, and the thing is, like, if this wasn't a band that like consistently made a big deal about like big blue eyes and that
Yeah.
little brown-eyed kid and the switch, and I'm like, they like Harry Pottered his ass, where they were like, just pick someone. I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. They'll be able to put it together. They didn't.
They'll fix it in editing. Post got us.
Post did not have us.
God.
He was so not the choice, and like, it's a marketability thing. I get it. You make a movie about a band, so you put the guy from the band in the movie, so people who like the band go see the movie. But like, he's 30. And the fact that he's 30 diminishes everything that happens after that, because like horrible abuse things happen. You're like, but it's stupid now because it's just his buddy who's like younger than him, who's his uncle.
I will also say his parents do look about his age.
Yes! It doesn't work!
Very fucking funny.
Yeah. Because they don't age at all, also. From like, there's a shift in which like the child actor is replaced by the grown adult actor, but like Tom looks the same.
Which I would prefer, because the sweaty stepdad was my North Star. He's how I knew what things were, because he was the most recognizable human being I've ever seen.
He's got a look to him.
He's got a moist look. And every time he came on screen, I was like, stepdad, I know what's going on.
He pissed me off from the beginning because the first 2 songs in this thing are like the first 2 songs in the album. And then from after that child is born through Murder, none of those songs, all those songs are brand new. And I was like, what the fuck are these?
So you're upset they stayed true to the source material?
No, I don't care about that. It's just like, it already had, like, it's not like it needed more plot. Like, you didn't need to sprinkle anything else in there.
There was so much going on in the pot already that I can't believe someone looked at it and went, you know what? We gotta get some more going on in here. We're so close to 2 hours.
It was a 2-hour movie I made you watch.
You made me spend money and 2 hours.
On a movie that you loved. Go ahead and say some things, Josh.
I need to talk about the part I hated the most. Mm-hmm. And that's the fact that I'm pretty sure I figured out why this movie was made. And that's because the creator wanted to kill someone with epilepsy. But he wanted to do it in a very creative and off-brand way.
So, this movie gave you a migraine.
I went from feeling fine today, and I feel like utter garbage. It was so bad because every single time they're like, let's fuck around with some colors. Mm-hmm. There's some dude with a fucking French horn just going in the background.
You leave John out of this. You leave John and his horn out of this. This was not, out of everybody, his fault.
Why couldn't he play it properly?
He's dead and cannot defend himself. You leave him alone.
I don't care. There's no reprieve.
Oh, man. Cook on the dead man some more. Go for it. Makes you look good.
Listen, I'm sure he was like a Tory or something. Fuck him.
Okay, so you want me to tell you something to make you feel a little better about that?
Yeah.
I have facts. I have Who facts.
Okay, cool. These are our Chuckles laughter facts.
These are my Who facts. That's the basis for this band who plays the French horn as well.
Okay.
And
Who fact?
Our Who fact is his last musical release before his death, in I believe the year 2000, was the soundtrack for the short-lived live-action television series Vampires, in which cars are vampires.
I take it all back.
So, like, does that even out enough for you to leave him alone?
An artist was taken away from us.
Google vampires. I'll throw up some images from vampires right now, just because, like, it's not funny to listen to Josh Google things. It's because it came out in, I want to say 97, 98, so it looks like a live action show from 97, 98.
Oh my god.
That's rough. It got like 4 episodes.
Oh my god.
And they got arguably one of the best bassists of all time to put down some tunes for it.
Oh, I love the animation.
You want to do vampires next week?
This is my new obsession.
It's rough. So yeah, that's the French horn guy.
Okay, Yeah, he sucked ass. This is not gonna be great look for me because I don't like most older music. Like
You don't.
it's not
I knew that going into this. It's why this is funny.
Yeah. Because like most of these songs just are bad. They're just
no, they fuck. Don't worry, they fuck.
Oh, trust me, when I watched a man spank another man's butt with an iron, I knew they fucked. But
was that the cousin thing or the uncle thing?
That was the cousin thing.
Okay.
the
Yeah, see that's so chronologically from the source material. I'm just like a douchebag.
Yeah, it's fine.
That comes right after the Christmas song. So he's supposed to be like that age when that happens.
That makes way more fucking sense.
Adultery.
That would make way more goddamn sense.
Yeah, than a grown man being beat up by a kind of douchebag Nazi high schooler. Yeah.
I will say that if you saw that in high school, that would have kept you in the closet for a longer time. You would have had something more to hold on to.
Yeah, because he shows up on screen and I'm like, damn, they made Cousin Kevin kind of hot. And they show it's a Nazi thing and I'm like, never mind. Let me go ahead and take that back. They did do a terrible job of making characters in which I am supposed to hate in this movie either MILFs or guys I think are hot.
Well,
because I feel some type of way.
To their defense, most people try to make bad dudes, especially, look gross and ugly, but that's a reverse for you, where you see that and you're like, oh god,
that how I feel about Keith Moon and making him like the bad guy, like the evil guy. I was like, ooh, he's gross. Yes, he does a little molestation, but like, ooh, he's gross. Hello.
I fucking hate this movie. It brings out the worst in humanity.
Because I'm horny for a dead man and you're making fun of another one?
Yeah, I've got to talk about this fucking bloodletting scene.
Go for it. Go right ahead.
So I was given a slight reprieve when the pictures of boobies showed up in this movie, and I went, yes, finally something to hold on to. A guiding light to get me through these troubled times. And then there's an entire musical number, which I guess is the entire movie because no one says anything that isn't musical.
There's no words in the movie. That's correct.
And the main dude he's blind, deaf, and dumb, which they make lots. He's
mute.
of
It's
jokes
2020.
About. When you keep in that full silent.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Thanks, bud.
Okay, yeah, you were talking?
Uh-huh. And unlike him. Listen, the movie explanation was he chose to be like that. It's not real chill with those kinds of things.
No, it's a psychosomatic. You don't get it. I can't do this seriously. I have genuine and serious opinions on this that I'm going to just fucking laugh through the entire time we do this.
Okay. Because I already gave my hot take theory that the band was just trying to off somebody.
What were you? Bloodletting. You were in the middle of the story. I cut you off. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Who was the guest star that sang that?
Tina Turner?
Yeah, Tina Turner.
She is a shining light in this shitty movie.
She's a wonder,
she's
in general.
So dedicated to that whack as shit character.
I am not going to dunk on Tina Turner. I will dunk on the fucking Iron Maiden fucking get all of this dude's blood out, fucking if it worked for George Washington, it'll work for him, fucking sex scene that happened out of what the fuck? And then so they show this terrible CGI Iron Maiden filled with needles that suck out the main character's blood.
Yeah.
That's accurate, correct?
Yes, and that's one of the things that I think doesn't translate well over because finish your thing, I'll get in my thing.
Yeah. And then they show Miss Turner dancing.
And then
they spin all of that over top of each other while the French horn's just going wild. And it's the most visually and auditorily upsetting experience I've ever had. It was a displeasure to view And it gave me nothing. And it's not like when some people do shit like that, and you're like, wow, I was uncomfortable, but I felt like I was supposed to feel uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable.
No, yeah.
And I was watching someone go, like, I was ready for, like, someone to come out of the movie and be like, didn't you just fucking love that? Like, wasn't that great? Like, don't you want to go again?
It's a clusterfuck. It's one of those things in which, when you just have the music to go off of,
yeah,
things are a little more ambiguous about what's happening.
Because like, then only your ears are upset.
Yeah, sure, but like, I think, oh god, I want to say things, but I sound like a fucking asshole. Townsend, in and of himself, like, is a very ambiguous songwriter and like lyricist, and like doesn't spell a whole lot out for you usually, generally, even in something like this that is plot based, in which you might need some things spelled out for you. And if you just listen to that song, it's like it's not completely clear. It's like, is she just drugging him? Is this a prostitution situation? Is there something weird going on? How old is he? What am I like? There's questions that aren't answered, and it leaves it up to you to fill in blanks for yourself. You can't do that in a movie in which they're just like, let's stick him in a mummy tomb and spin him.
And there's so many. There are two non-stop metaphors that you would have to be a complete moron to miss either one of them.
You would have to be, topically, blind.
If you're blind, like, comment, and subscribe.
Please.
I'm so sorry. This movie's so fucking offensive to anyone who is...
Listen, woke police, it's fucking 50 years old. It's my dad's age.
You're right, woke Queen
This album
Derek.
is 1 year older than my father.
I mean, he ended up fine. I don't know if that's making the cut.
It will. Okay. It's funny.
So, there are two metaphors.
There sure are.
Jesus and pinball.
And they intersect at the end. It's great.
Oh, not just at the end. At any moment that you are watching a scene, there is, I guarantee, either a pinball or a Jesus.
How early on did you pick up on the Jesus imagery? Was it before they switched actors?
Yes. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was like when. Oh man, I think it was when the dad died.
In the planes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the war.
The war.
Which, okay. So
I have a historical question for you once you're done with what you're doing. Don't let me forget.
It's historical based.
Yeah, I know. There's something like really interesting I want to say to you.
I got real fucking confused when they showed the flags when they won the war.
Uh-huh.
Because they showed the modern German flag. And I know.
No.
I know. This is
your symbols on the drum set. I get it.
Yeah. I saw that and went, there's absolutely there's no way. I don't know when off the top of my head the modern German flag was used. I will Google it while you're making your next point. But like, I know for a fact it wasn't the second Nazi Germany fell.
No, I'm assuming it took them a little time to put that one together.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they weren't like, all right, step 1, Hitler's dead. Step 2, surrender. Step 3, I think the red and yellow and black look really good together.
Yeah, so I have a historically question thing for you. I don't know if you really have anything to say on this or not. I just think you'll find it somewhat interesting and a little frustrating.
Yeah.
So the movie takes place after World War II.
Yes.
And you got the song that's like about 1951.
Mm-hmm.
That song is 1921 in the original.
That explains so much.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I don't know anything. This was originally World War I.
I was so fucking curious why they were using, I think it's the poppy flower.
Mm-hmm.
The red flower that they like was on all of the fucking crosses.
Yeah.
Because that's a big World War I, like,
I didn't know if they like goofed it. Yeah, because it's originally World War I.
Also, the flag of Germany was adopted in 1949. So they killed so Hitler killed himself. They gave up and then said, "All right, 4 years. What 3 colors are we putting where?"
It took them 1 year per color. It was fine.
+1. Yeah, they took a lap year.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gets one vacation after they get rid of Hitler.
That's correct. You deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually explains a lot, because I was trying to fucking figure out what war they happened.
Yeah, it's supposed to be World War II in the movie and not in the... Well, the only question it brought up in my mind was, did they have pinball in 1920s? Did they, like, figure out there's a plot hole there, and they were like, Pete, dude, we've got to change the year, because this doesn't make any fucking sense.
I do fucking love the idea of, like, him being a fucking history dweeb, and...
I don't think he is, man.
I'm hoping that he's, like, your other favorite, oh, no, I always get the Pete and the Paul mixed up.
Paul McCartney?
No, fuck, what's his name?
You leave Paul McCartney out of this.
Phil.
Phil Collins?
Phil, yeah, because he's huge.
The Alamo Man.
Yeah,
the Alamo Man. You keep Paul McCartney away from me. Paul McCartney, if you're listening, on behalf of the podcast, fuck you.
Yeah.
You replaced that man.
We know what you did.
We know what you did.
And you know what? Ringo's going to write about it when he dies. Or have you already replaced him?
Oh my god. That's why Ringo's a douchebag now.
Oh yeah. Don't send me any more fan mail.
Please stop interacting with me.
Peace
just
and
don't
love,
open
peace
it.
and love.
Ringo,
Yeah,
just don't open it. You have... I don't even want to fathom how much money Ringo fucking Starr has.
Yeah.
Just hire someone to throw it away.
Yeah. Or, like, if you want to still be seen as nice, hire someone to send back a thanks.
Anything. Create jobs, Ringo.
Yeah.
The economy, Ringo.
I bet he fucking outsources his jobs and his mails.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Is MS Paint an outsourced program?
Wasn't it fucking Microsoft, so it was invented in the States?
Oh, god damn it.
Which means he's
outsourced.
It.
He's British.
Oh my god, British invasion, we got you back.
Oh my god, I love making fun of British people, dude. I know that doesn't seem like this as I sit here and defend British people for the next hour.
Suck one off for the next hour.
Yeah, but like, oh god, I wish I had sent you two things before we started this.
Yeah.
Which is the album version of Christmas, which will make you shoot yourself in the brace. Just because it's like, I remember you texted me when that song was on, and you were like, this is intentionally bad.
Yeah.
It's differently, and I want to believe intentionally as well bad on the album. And like, I like it. I do. I say that. I think if you go to like that tweet thread I have of like songs that I like from that album, it's on there. But there's some background noises that are weird. And they would have made you upset.
Because I am like this with music, where if there's a 10 to 30 second period that I like really like, I'll deal with so much other shit.
Yes.
Like, what's the fucking the Panic at the Disco song? The one that they play at every party. Like the big one.
I chimed in with
Yeah. The chorus is great. The
verses
suck ass. They suck so much ass.
Like after you call the groom's bride a whore, that's
you don't have to do it a second.
You need one chorus, a second chorus, and end the song.
It's legitimately bad.
Have you ever heard that song at a party?
No.
It's uncomfortable because like there's like a 30-second instrumental break in that song that's just the same thing over and over again, and you're all sitting at the party like, can we get back to the chorus again and start screaming at each other again, please?
Fuck you for complaining about 30-second instrumental breaks. That's a hate crime, mister. Oh my god.
Again, since I just complained about 30-second instrumental breaks, I'd like to point out more contradictions on my part. If you go back to that same post I was just talking about, the overture, which is the first song, which is 6 minutes of just music, first thing on that list.
Yeah, it sure was.
It's fun. It's fun. It prefaces things.
It
prefaces things.
We're getting to like real rage, which I try not to tap into ever.
Oh, but it's so funny, Josh. It does preface things. I'm not even saying it as a piss you off joke. It's like got bits of later stuff in it. It's cute. It's fun if you know the album to go back and see it from the beginning. It's like when you watch a movie, when you watch The Sixth Sense for the first time and you don't know he's dead, and then you watch it again and you're like, oh, he's dead. Oh, look at that. It's like that. You're like, oh, I know this song.
The only thing I can fucking relate to is anytime a fucking Marvel movie is on, my dad will be like, they did that to set up Endgame. And literally any plot.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Yeah. God love him. I'm glad that he had me listen to Christian rock instead of this.
Oh man, sometimes your dad and his dad and my dad and your dad.
Dad. You are my dad.
You're my dad.
So I just want to say, I listened to the entire Casting Crowns first album.
For the other podcast, which we'll plug right now.
Yeah.
We'll plug that right now, baby. Go watch that.
It's pretty funny some of the times. We're watching horror movies right now.
I should watch some of those. That sounds bad for me to admit that I haven't yet, but I've had a weekend.
The Exorcist one is legitimately really funny.
I can't, because I watched you watch The Exorcist for the first time.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. That was funny, Josh.
That's some good shit right there.
You were upsetty spaghetti.
We need to just record me watching a horror movie once.
I wish I could record you watching this movie. I think that would have been fun for me.
No, because you would have seen me just going.
Like rage sighing.
Just every 35 seconds.
It's
what was I saying?
I just remembered something. Sorry, go ahead and do your thing, but I just remembered something.
Yeah, I watched the entire Casting Crowns album. And
you didn't watch it, you listened to it.
I watched the seconds tick by, and there were more bops.
Oh, you're such a... I almost called you a slur.
Wow.
Which I can do.
I just came out too. Back into the closet I go.
Back in the closet with you.
Get back in there.
I texted you beans?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about beans?
Which part was beans, man?
Dude, when the TV explodes and there's beans everywhere?
I thought that was chocolate.
There's chocolate and beans. The beans are a callback. It's beans.
That scene is so goddamn disturbing.
That song is also not on the album. That's also a brand new song that I don't think we needed. There's so much that comes in the later half of this where I'm like, they've completely kind of shifted tones on things, and I'm like, did we need to? Like, you've already established it's kind of not something I'm going to take seriously just by how you did the serious scenes. So you don't need to the song where she's in the car.
Yeah.
It's just the two of them, she's in the car. Mm-hmm. It's really just...
Yeah.
And then it's not. It's fucking upsetting.
Yeah, this is one of my issues with this genre. It's the fact that we'll call it a diversity of tones that a lot of times come out of goddamn nowhere.
I know this is gonna be hard to believe for people who don't know me. I hate musicals. As I sit here and hype this up, I hate musicals. You know I do. Yeah, I don't watch a musical.
You hate musicals almost as much as I do.
I hate musicals, but I love concept albums because I think musicals, the thing that bugs me about musicals is there's no room to fill anything in. Musicals, everything that's happening, they just give it to you, and it's stupid. And why are we singing?
I will say there's a TikTok of a dude making fun of musicals.
The guy in the grocery store?
Yeah, the guy in the grocery store.
Yeah!
That is the greatest TikTok thread that humankind has ever done.
It's funny.
Can of soup. Go watch that instead of this podcast.
Don't leave. Don't click out.
Don't leave.
Don't leave us. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, this...
Do you know about the ending?
I feel like I want to talk about Elton John a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Whenever you haven't yelled enough, I'm just trying to prompt you into a cat's rage.
When Elton John showed up,
the second homosexual in this movie.
That can't be accurate. I'm sorry, and I can be called homophobic for this one. That can't be right.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Just statistically.
If your nose is that big, you're not gay. Fuck out of here.
No one's gay and has a big nose.
Which is why I'm suicidal.
God said you can't have both. Every gay's got one. Difficult
Gay or
relationship
nose.
with their dad. Oh my god. If you're
Elton
gay,
John.
have a big nose, like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, so
Pete Townsend is in the replies.
You wish.
God. No, I don't want him to see this. I'm gonna make fun of him. We've been making fun of him.
That's what he fucking does. Wait, I don't think that's gonna. Okay, so fucking. This is why I hate these goddamn movies so much, man. It's because every single time the scene changed, I was ready for that dude in his big fucking nose to look over at me and go, "You don't like it because you don't get it." And I know I'm projecting. I know.
No, I mean, okay, so honestly, if this movie had come out right after the album had, I would have been surprised if that didn't happen. Just because, like, there's kind of a shift that happens with him where, like, he was like, okay, let me grow up a little bit. But that did not happen until after the 1960s had ended. I'll plug my fan cam right here, because I'm going to talk about it for a second. I made a fan cam of Pete Townsend because I have too much free time and not enough somehow simultaneously. Yep. And to do that, I had to watch, like, interviews to, like, get clips. Fucking bitch is insufferable. And, like, I say that with so much love in my heart and 5 of his albums sitting behind me. Horrible. I would have clocked his ass. Like, immediately.
Because, like, I don't ever want to say this about anything anyone ever makes. This is not fucking high art. This isn't.
No, it's not.
This is.
I think it got interpreted as high art, but it's not.
Because it's fucking weird. Just because it's weird doesn't mean it's good and, like, means something. And
no, and, like, I think from the movie standpoint, like, the movie, I won't even attempt to argue with you about.
And I'm not going to talk about the album because, like, I am in no place because, like,
you've never heard it.
Yeah, that was not.
That wasn't a prerequisite for this.
Yeah, because if it was, I wouldn't have done it.
No, because it's like 3 hours of your life. It's more than that. It's more than 3 hours of your life.
The movie was shorter than the album.
No, they put more fucking songs in the movie, Josh.
You said it was 3 hours.
Yeah, the movie plus the album.
I'm with you now.
The movie, okay. The 2 hours of the movie plus the hour and some change of the album would have been a little over 3 hours of your life.
I would have shot you. I don't own a gun. It's so infuriating because, like, if you go back and listen to our fucking podcast for it was the Lighthouse, where I felt similar problem is that I felt like the director was going, you get it, the entire fucking time. And you know what? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Because that told a better story in a more concise manner. And you know what it didn't have? A French horn that cut in when these scenes got stupid.
No, it had a foghorn, you fuck. It was even worse.
Oh my god.
This is, once again, I have to point it out because we do every fucking episode we do. We have not gone a singular episode of either of our podcasts without bringing the Lighthouse up.
It changed me.
It did. And this did as well. I'm sure you'll bitch about that. You were going to say something about Elton John. And then you just got lost on a tangent because I started talking about Pete Townsend.
I got so angry.
Whose name I don't know if I'm pronouncing right. There's an H in it. I haven't been saying it. I don't know if I am to. Fuck British people.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck the British. They gave us this. And they also are responsible for, like, a lot of shit. And I know as an American we are too. But let's
fuck the British.
Sink both countries.
I'll say we could both be wrong.
Yeah.
I did just remember, I was going to tell you, I said there was 2 things I should have had you listen to before we started this. It was the album version of that song and just, like, his general voice when he sounds like when he's speaking. Is
it just grating?
Let me you talk about the Elton John thing and I will pull up the tweet I made about it.
Okay, so in the subplot of pinball, Elton John is the competing pinball player that Tommy has to beat. And he's wearing giant fucking shoes.
I have a story about that when you're done.
Okay. And at first I thought, like, Oh my fucking god, a fucking course. Like,
annoying ass, entirely unintelligible, soft, mumblecore, bougie sounding fancy ass voice. Those aren't words, Patrick! Elton John.
Yeah. And at first I was like, oh god, this bullshit again, here we go. But it's Elton John, and he fucking pulls it off, because of course he does.
Because he's campy. Like, it just works.
But that's a different movie.
Yes.
Like, that's not a movie about a kid possibly getting drugged by a prostitute?
Maybe. They try to give us too many answers, but, like, maybe.
They gave every answer for what happened there.
Yeah, and, like, ambiguity is where I think he kind of shines. Not to sound like a douchebag again. And you don't get any of that when you have to see everything.
I will get behind him saying less. I will follow you down that boat.
I know you weren't thinking in this mindset, and obviously to say it now really isn't helpful. But like, if you just like aren't watching, you're just hearing. Like, there's not a lot of information being given away by just what you're hearing.
No.
And that, really like, isn't. I didn't know how this was supposed to end. Despite the fact that I'd heard the album 20 times until I watched it, I didn't know that his parents died. I had no like even concept of that. Yeah,
because that's not like a thing where he's like, my parents are dead. And that's another weird thing about this fucking movie, where like parts of it are just directly acted what they are singing, and other parts have absolutely nothing to do. It kind of reminds me, this is a pull. You guys remember that fucking what's Ed Sheeran's last fucking album?
The duets one, or the
no,
Divide?
The one that came out, Divide. The one we came out in our when we were in high school.
The one that sucked.
Yeah. There's one where he sings about like going on a date with a girl and like liking her and like she's awesome. And he's singing about like going to buffets and like stealing food. Meanwhile, what's happening in the video is him training for a boxing fight. And that's how I felt this entire movie.
Tommy.
Yeah. Where it's just like, that's not what you're saying.
Yeah, and like you can imagine how confusing that is to be listening to without any visuals, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
But at least then you're only getting confused from one end.
Yeah, and like you can kind of draw your conclusions. Well, this kind of makes sense that it would be happening, so I'll think that's happening, as opposed to like, let's just throw some shit at the wall and see what sticks.
I do also
my Elton John fact for you, which I think will make you happy just based on what you just said.
Yeah.
Was that he was not interested in being in this film.
Hell yes.
And he was like, I'm not doing this. And they're like, come on. And he's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this fucking movie. And they're like, Elton, my boy, come on. He's like, can I keep the big shoes? And they were like, yes. Okay.
I fucking love Elton John.
That is a rumor, so I don't get sued by the fucking Elton John estate, but yeah.
He would sue you and come to court in the big shoes. Because he gets it. He gets it.
He's just vibing. Elton, we're gay. Leave us alone.
There's another. Well, he would have if you dropped that bad F-bomb, because, I mean, he loves him some Eminem.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
I need to bitch and moan about some of the things that they put in this movie. First, I need to discuss a certain skeleton that they show on screen.
Yeah.
The skeleton has the metal hooks that you would see to hold it up at like a classroom still on it and barely spray painted white.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's correct, Josh.
Someone went.
There were points in this movie where like you could tell they blew the entire budget on like 4 scenes.
Oh yeah.
Like the fucking church scene that we didn't need with all the fucking Marilyn Monroes was like millions of dollars. And then they had to teach Roger Daltrey how to hang glide. And then they were like, fuck, we didn't buy a drum set. We've got to go to like Fisher Price Corporation and set it up and just make him play pretend.
And then we fucking got Tommy going on his first run.
Yeah, and he's free.
He runs through Vietnam, and much like Forrest Gump, and he runs like through a beach and everything, and then he just runs straight into the ocean.
Yeah.
But then suddenly it's him fake running on a green screen as they just flip through National Geographic.
This is, again, like, sometimes I'll argue with Josh about things. He's just right. That's just what it was.
That's just what happened.
That is just what happened.
What was I fucking gonna say? I'm so mad and lightheaded.
It's water.
No, we're doing this in one take. It's such a fucking garbage movie. And just the pretentious levels, man.
Oh, it's super pretentious. It
It's
totally is. No, I love it, but it is. It's a very Lighthouse situation where I'm like, they weren't subtle. It is over the top. It's obnoxious. You think you're the smartest man alive, and I agree. You look so disheveled.
We've been through important milestones together. This will not tear your friendship apart.
Stream Tommy. This is an ad. No. He paid me.
I hope he did. Can I get my $3.99 back?
No.
I can't believe this. I fucking paid movie for that. I paid money for that movie. I paid movie. I felt like I watched your first ever student film that you got like a scene in that you were allowed to direct. My student film
was more coherent than this.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Like that sounded sarcastic, but I guarantee it was.
No, my student film was more coherent than this.
Mine was.
You're a fucking teaching major.
Oh my god. This is why I think some people have too much money.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This is a very specific thing I wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
In the beans scene, not to get back to the beans scene. This isn't about the beans part. This isn't about the beans scene. Pissed me off. But this isn't about that. Did the specific brand of our previous workplace's expensive champagne being in that scene trigger like a horrible sense memory?
I saw that and went, no!
For reference, we used to work at a place that sold lots of wine.
We don't work there anymore.
We don't work there anymore, but I don't know, like, I'm gonna bitch about our old bosses though. I don't know who still works there. We used to work at a place that sold wine.
Yeah.
And other things. And they had like this expensive ass bottle of champagne in the movie that we used to sell there around New Year's. And my stupid fucking boss called someone called on the phone and they're like, I heard it's 20% off if you buy 4 of them. And the champagne's like $70 a bottle. So he's like, yeah. So she sees it as $50 a bottle with the 20% off. And she goes, is it 20% off of that? And he goes, yeah. So long story short, I gave away 3 cases of that for like $40 a bottle. And our other manager, who would have throttled him, if you know which one I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Was so mad in a way that I've never seen.
God bless her.
Yeah. We're praying for you, our other manager from our old job.
Yeah. Man, there's only one singular person from that job that still works there.
Oh my god. That's
yeah.
Crazy.
It's who you'd expect.
I know who it is.
Yeah, she's too busy going to England.
Yeah.
I need to bitch and moan about the weird... I don't even know if it's a subplot. Why does mom want to fuck that doctor?
I mean, you know, Jack Nicholson's kind of freaky looking. And some of us are into that.
That can't...
As someone...
I don't know much about writing. I want to call my girlfriend and just get like some like...
We're going to have a call-in for the first time on this podcast.
Just when you are like a writer, I feel like if you introduce something, there should be a point.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of those things that, again, was not a transfer over from the original material. That was just out of fucking nowhere, and they decided, you know what, since we got Jack Nicholson here, we told him we'd get someone to fuck him. That was like his fee to sign on to this movie.
Because it was, you know, the fucking what, 80s?
1978.
Yeah.
75.
Yeah, the 80s.
Jack Nicholson, that was a joke. Do not call your lawyers. We do not believe you coerced anyone.
Unless that Washington Post article drops before this does.
In which case, on behalf of the podcast,
we're the new Hannibal Buress. Fucking called it. Oh, it's a joke. Please don't sue us, Jack Nicholson.
No, it's fine.
Maybe do though. That's how we get out there.
If you sue me, does Pete Townsend have to be there? Because I don't have a whole lot going for me right now. Did you see the thing that's going around Twitter today about like the 19-year-old who married that guy that's like 89?
Oh yeah.
Pete Townsend, if you're listening.
The only other things on her Twitter, which like, because I looked on it, I'm like, this has got to be fake. It's literally
she's deactivated now.
Yeah. It was like, oh my god, I love my husband and my juicy ass.
She's me. Fat ass, old man pays my bills.
And then someone was like,
not me.
And someone found a news article with that old man in it where it's like, man loses only son and wife in car accident, leaving him with no family.
I shouldn't be joking about it.
No, we shouldn't.
I'm so sorry, old man.
Get that bag.
Because I did, when I first saw that, I was like, yeah. And then I opened up the article and was like, oh no. It's not cute.
Fuck. No, it's not.
No. Because I'm pro stealing from the elderly.
You've been anti-elderly your entire life.
Yeah. I know it kind of is contradicted by everything I've just said again. But I'm a man of many thoughts. We didn't introduce ourselves or the podcast at the beginning. That's what we forgot to do.
I don't give a shit.
I'm Charles, this is Josh, and this is They Done Goofed.
I'm pissed.
I'm pissed, I'm dead.
I'm Charles, I'm Josh, and I'm pissed.
Oh man, oh man, oh man.
It's such a bad garbage movie, and I'm upset you made me watch it, but I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm empty. You're
empty? You've worn out all of your Tommy rage?
I think I'm empty. Do you have any other, if you want to poke or prod me a little bit more, but I've covered most of my thoughts.
I mean, I can tell you what on a grander scheme I think this is actually supposed to be about, and you can get upset.
Yeah, that's fair. That sounds about like our friendship.
This, because it's Townsend, is a reflection on not what happens when you don't deal with your personal issues, just on a massive scale. When shit happens and you go, I just won't deal with that, we'll worry about that later. This is what happens to you. You become Jesus Christ, and your parents die.
I was so ready for you to drop a much shittier and crazier theory on me.
No, it's like...
Because that
that's just what it is. Yeah, he's got issues that he doesn't deal with, and this is the movie.
I was ready for you to be like, pinball symbolism for masturbation, because we're all just knocking our balls around.
I also believe that now.
Yeah.
No, it's like, abuse is bad. This is what it does to people. If you've got problems, maybe see a therapist so everything doesn't spiral into something absolutely ridiculous and you can't figure out how you got there in the first place. That's the movie.
I don't disagree. Yeah.
All right, cool. I didn't piss him off. Damn.
No, that doesn't actually piss me off.
I fucking think it's stupid.
Pinball's masturbation.
Yeah.
Jesus was trans.
If the shoe fits, ladies and gentlemen.
I just want to piss off J.K. Rowling.
Oh my god. A trans woman.
Oh no, she's after us.
She's coming for us.
We verbally abused her.
J.K. Rowling, if you would like to be verbally abused, let us know.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Do not like my content, bitch.
Oh my god, yeah, if JK liked this, I would...
Again, I've got to say it one more time. Fuck British people.
Fuck the British.
That's the moral of this story.
I think that's actually what this movie is about.
It's about hating British people.
It's the British shouldn't have won World War I.
If the British lose World War I, this movie doesn't happen.
You know who we don't get? Hitler.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I don't believe
that's the way to look at this.
I'm a history major, don't come at me.
Oh, fucking Jesus Christ. All right, so you've wrapped it up. Pete Townsend, contact me at your earliest convenience. Keith Moon was hot in this movie despite the fact that he was nasty. And that is all I have to say. What am I watching next week?
All right. So I need you to suffer like I did.
I need retribution.
And I'm hoping that this pisses you off as much as it did me. We are going to watch a historical movie.
Christ. Oh no! How long is it?
It's a long boy. let me pull up because I want to see. I don't remember how long it is, but it is a long one.
Oh, this is a longer podcast, by the way. We've gone for almost an hour.
Oh my god.
You were mad about this movie.
I was very mad.
And we didn't have a lot of like bullshit at the beginning either. Like we just started this one.
Yeah. It is a bit longer than our rule.
How long?
Is a 2 hour and 20-minute movie.
Okay, I thought we like capped at 3 hours. Like if anything, above
3 hours. Yeah. It is called The Free State of Jones. Matthew McConaughey. Yep. Versus Confederacy.
Oh boy, this will make me sad. This will make me upset. I hate Matthew McConaughey.
And it is the worst edited movie I've ever seen, and I don't know anything about editing.
I went to school I edit the podcast. I'm in editing school.
It is.
And I'm done.
I don't want to spoil much, but I swear they used PowerPoint transitions.
Oh, someone had just downloaded Adobe Premiere and was so goddamn excited to use all them fun transitions, which is why I don't use that shit, because I know I'll do that. I have an ADHD. It'll move fast and I'll get real into it.
Oh, I can't wait for you to be tortured.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well that's upsetting. I don't think it's as upset as you were last time, which is nice because you were very upset. You've been very upset.
Yeah, I don't know. You also have to watch this while, I don't know, living at home.
Nice. You gotta layer it.
Yeah, really get the emotional abuse in there too.
All right. Well. I found the last thing. I knew I had something else I wanted to say about this movie.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a real quick point. This won't take us a lot of time. I love that like Roger Daltrey gets wet several times in this movie. Like he gets in the ocean or the pool, and they don't let his hair remain wet for more than like 5 seconds because he looks like a fucking rat.
Oh my god, yeah.
He looks like a drowned rat because he has the longest face ever that is only countered by his hair being as wide as it is long.
When he showed up, I did think for a split second, that's not Weird Al.
I'm so glad you said that.
Just for the slightest second.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would have liked it more.
If Weird Al, he might have been like closer to the right age. So, how old was Weird Al in 1975? Should he have played Tommy?
Oh, let's
find out. Let's find out what we're goofing.
All right. You said 79?
5.
75. All right. He would have been 16. He would have been perfect.
Oh my god! Why didn't they cast him?
Because that would have been amazing.
What a bunch of losers! Oh boy. All right. You want to wrap it up? You want me to do it?
I'll wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you guys for listening to They Done Goofed on, was it 2 days apart?
2 days younger.
2 days younger. Yeah, because it's about you.
It's about me. You named it.
I did. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Give it a like. Next time we're going to listen to or watch I'm killing
Next
this.
time we're going to talk about the
I had to take
zone.
The craziest shit. That is all I could think about.
For how long?
Who's
I
to
told
say?
you to go get water. This is making the podcast too because you said this in the middle of your outro. I'm not cutting this.
I have this shit so bad. End it here.
Okay, we'll see you guys next week. We love you. We'll be back.
I'll call you later.